So we get a lot of these 200 series Land Cruisers and 300 series Land Cruisers in for all sorts of things, from ghost immobilizers, head unit upgrades, four-wheel drive stuff, dual batteries, touring stuff, all the goodies. And the general consensus is this is a better and more capable car. The 200 series Land Cruiser over the 300 for quality and capability and things like that. There is one massive letdown on the 200. And I'll show you what that is right now. It's right here on the interior. This head unit is kind of old and clunky. It does work well. It's got great Bluetooth phone call quality, great Bluetooth audio quality, and that's about it. I mean, if you go to source, you do have AM, FM, and digital radio, which is great. Like I said, great Bluetooth, and that's pretty much it. So in the traditional sense, you can't change the head unit to an Alpine or Pioneer. We do have head unit upgrades, which we'll get into in a minute. But what we're going to do on this car is keep everything original and add Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So this 200 is a VX or a D-Badge Sahara. Can't work out which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's a VX because it doesn't have the rear screens, but it does have 360 camera and premium amplified audio, which means if you wanted to do an Alpine unit or Pioneer, no one makes a fitting kit to be able to change the head unit. So it's a problem that's been around for a long time with these cars. We do have head units that work, like our massive 17-inch head unit to make it look like a 300 series, and we've got just released a 10.1-inch unit. So that is basically a head unit that looks exactly like the original one, except it runs an Android base, it's a capacitive touchscreen, it's much faster, and it has a lot of great features. This customer wants to keep everything OEM original, so we're just going to be adding in our module that'll give it CarPlay, Android Auto, work with the factory Bluetooth, factory microphone, and factory Bluetooth audio. It's going to be a great upgrade for the car, so let's get into it. So coming over to the bench, we have two modules, USB cable, audio cable, main power cable, HDMI, which will connect these two modules together, and then the LVDS cables for the video input. It looks like a lot, but it's really not that bad, and we'll show you step by step how to get all of this done and make it look nice and neat. First step is going to be removal of the original screen and the original CD changer. So you can start at the very top. We'll have to take the dash mat off, and we're going to remove this top cover, which will expose two 10mm bolts. We can then pull these vents out, and then from the bottom side, we'll pull this cover off on both sides. And once that cover comes off, we'll expose another 10mm and a clip to get this off. Boom, copy the same on that side, boom. There'll be a few more 10mm and it will all come out. It's not that bad to do, it's actually quite easy to do. So we'll speed ramp this, but that's basically how you get it done. So anywhere you can use your hands, like I just did, great. But anywhere else, you'll need to use plastic trim tools, no metal, because the dash is very soft all the way around. So we need to make sure we keep everything intact. For the vent, we're just going to pull from the very top, fingers behind, and straight out. And do the same on the other side. If you use trim tools here, 100% you will damage it. So careful not to do that. Okay, so once we're at this point, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10mm bolts that we're going to take out. Anything plugged in here as well we want to remove so we can keep this area open and free. So for this part of the loom, the main part, that's going to plug into the original connector right there, nice and easy. Now there are some other adapters and plugs on there. You don't need to worry about them. So we're just going to plug, basically leave everything as it comes in the kit. In the kit as well, there's very detailed instructions about all of this stuff. So leave them, you don't need to worry about them. This is for a 200 series Land Cruiser. If we're dealing with a Lexus or something else, it's gonna be a different story. But for a cruiser, we're just gonna tape this up and make it look nice and neat. So the first plug we're gonna do is the main one. Boom, line it up, pop it in, don't force it, okay? If it's not going in, we definitely need to look at why that is. Line up all the tabs, even pop it out again. Check it, yep. Boom, look at that. It just sent itself in, right when it was lined up perfectly. The next plug we're gonna do is this one right here, which is the auxiliary plug. We don't actually need it because we're gonna be using factory Bluetooth audio, but just connect it anyway because it's in the kit. You're gonna pop that in, boom. And now these are gonna go back into the original head unit, and the cables that tee off, we're gonna send down to make sure you can see this area right here. And I think we've got a customer here, so I'll be back. So to test this, I'm gonna quickly put the original CD changer back in and the original screen back in. And to do that, it's just reversal process of what we did to remove it, and make sure you get all of those original cables and the new ones plugged in, or things will not work. I'll quickly do that, we'll test it. For anybody that's sort of aware of where they're at by this stage, all you need to do is tidy up all of that wiring, mount your modules, and you're done. And then for anybody else, we'll continue to go through and show you the rest of it and how I do it. If you want to pick up this exact kit, head over to the website and you can pick up this kit. You probably won't find it online, we've developed it. It is a very good kit, which you'll see very soon when we boot it all up, but that's pretty much it. Let's keep going. So we've got everything plugged in and put back in. I've turned the ignition on and we have nothing. That's not good. First thing I'm gonna do is check the LVDS cables. So I'll swap them over and we'll see if it makes a difference. I'll try and do it in real time with you guys. Ready? You can probably see everything but the screen, but that's okay. Boom, 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 boom. Screen is on, look at that. What did I say, guys? Just swap your cables over before you go too far. Now, to get into the module, nothing. Or is it home? I forgot. I think it's nav. 90% sure it's nav. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely nothing. So that is going to be dip switches. I'll get them set and we'll try again. Okay, I just went through the instructions, which I'll show you guys right here. So the instructions have basically a big overview. They show you exactly what car it's compatible with, module overview, dip switches, everything all in there, all for our customers. Now what you're gonna do is press and hold the nav button, 1, 2, and boom. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, have a look at that. So now we're happy with that. We can come back down to this area, tape all of this wiring up, make everything nice and neat, and then we're gonna mount the modules. My go-to mounting area is usually right there where someone's put a GME, so that's okay. What I'm gonna do is put one module up above in that area, there's plenty of room, and then one module up here. So basically when I do my wiring, I'll map it out so that one module can sit up in there and one has enough length to go back behind there. But of course, everything is taped up in this beautiful loom tape that we use. So we'll get that done. And then the next clip, we'll see how this works. And just a little another side note with the dip switches, there are actually 2 sets of dip switches that work on a 200 series. So I'm gonna preset all of them for our customers to the correct one. But what I found with the other one was every sort of 20 seconds or so, the screen would just go black and then back on immediately. So it was a very, once every 10, 20 seconds, black screen, normal. And then like this, and then black screen, then normal. So I've changed the dip switch and I've been sitting here for about 2 minutes just to make sure. I'll sit here for another few minutes and make sure that it stays. make sure touch is working, make sure everything's working. But the issue was happening when there was no reactions on the screen. So no touching, nothing like that. Just sitting here, it would flash black. So we're just going to keep it like this. Obviously test reverse camera, keep testing, but so far, so good. So I've intentionally left it on like this for the last 10 minutes or so, maybe even close to 20 minutes, and no flicker, no flash. So that's exactly what we want. These are the correct settings for the dip switches. Modules, as you can see, one down in that area, and then we've tidied up this wiring right here, ready for that module to get mounted. And that's pretty much it. We'll put the car back together. In the next clip, I'll show you how to use this system. And just like that, everything is completely installed. And if you look carefully, it looks like the car has not been touched at all. Everything is completely back together. We have got a few pieces and trims and wiring all here. That is because we are also installing a front and rear dash camera. So if you see, panels being removed and that stuff, it's only because of the dash cam. In terms of the CarPlay system, it is completely finished. So what I'm gonna do is set you guys up on the tripod, move this wiring out of the way, and show you how this system works and how good it really is. Okay, so all we really have left to do once the dash cam is finished is really give this thing a good wipe down and a clean, but otherwise we are basically ready to show you how this works. Now, OEM system, everything is here that was there before. Home button, factory navigation, audio, reverse camera, or 360 camera I should say. Everything is there as it should be. No, it's not. Why don't we have factory cameras working? So we did just run into a small problem where I was going to show you the reverse camera and it was just a black screen. So the problem there was where we mounted the secondary module is where the original camera module is. Now, believe it or not, that module is actually super sensitive. So just a wiggle of that original cable will make these cameras flicker. So what we've done is basically secured that cable into place so it doesn't happen again. And then we pop it into reverse, we've got factory cameras. So as we were, original camera system working, original audio system, Bluetooth, right? Everything is there as it should be. So I'm going to quickly connect my phone to the original system. We're going to add a phone here. Okay, it is a slow system. We're all aware of that. Allow. Successful. Perfect. So with that being done, we can go Bluetooth audio, and I will play some music. Beyond the Sea. Here we go. Great. Okay, so OEM stuff is working. Now we're going to press and hold the nav button and we are introduced to the new system. Now in the settings of the new system, they're very simple. Okay, it's a good simple system. Right hand drive and car BT channel. So what that means is all audio and phone calls are going through the factory Bluetooth. How good is that? So if we were to go smartphone settings, we can go to smartphone list, and then I'll pair to this system as well. So we'll have two Bluetooth connections. Now, once we've paired to that, our phone's going to connect. We can open up CarPlay, and here we are, straight into wireless Apple CarPlay. Phone can be put away, and from here, you've got all of the apps that are compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That being Google Maps, Spotify, radio apps, Waze, very fast system as you can see here, and the only limitation really is the factory screen. It's an old resistive screen, it's not really designed for swipe, but as fast as you can swipe is as fast as it will go. If we go to Spotify from here and press play on a sound, that is going through the original Bluetooth system in the car. So it's as integrated as it can get. If we press nav to go back, and audio, whoop, let me turn that down before I catch a copyright. So we're going through the Bluetooth audio system here, and if we go back, Bluetooth audio system here. Now if I make a phone call, let's call the workshop. When we check our phone, we only have one option, which is the original Bluetooth. So that means steering wheel controls work. I can just hang up with the steering wheel as well. So that is as integrated as you can get for a CarPlay and Android Auto system. From here, we can go to reverse and just see those factory cameras. They'll work as normal. If we were to go to drive and drive off, it will show you the front camera as it does, and then whatever settings you've got the car on, if I can shush that up, as in 10 Ks before this goes off or whatever it is, when the cameras turn off, boom, straight back in to CarPlay. And that is pretty much the system done, ready to go. Let me know what you guys think. We're gonna finish this off, give it a clean, and we're all done. There it is, guys. That is our integration kit for the 200 series Land Cruiser Complete. Shows you how the whole system works. We have tested a lot of different modules, from Android interfaces to Chinese ones, and a lot of them. And there are always some sort of issues, especially with Bluetooth and Bluetooth audio. This is the only module that will actually use the factory Bluetooth and audio system to give you that integration and high quality return phone calls, all that stuff, all working. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you want to pick up this exact kit, www.shoptfb.com. Same thing, if you want any installation services done throughout Australia, anything you need, reach out to the team, www.shoptfb.com. That's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.